Namaste, my friend. We have been understanding life and how to live life consciously by right knowledge, right speech, and right action. In the last session, we understood that the life is a series of experiences. Experiences with the right knowledge makes a difference in our life, and experience with the wrong knowledge causes the stress and the suffering. Last week, a young guy asked me, I am too much hurt. What should I do? Why he is hurt? His soulmate cheated him, and soulmate is not talking to him. So he was asking me that at least my soulmate should have talked to me that I don't want to be with you. I said it is very simple. Next week, I'm hurt that he disappeared. I said, tell me one thing. Give me 5 benefits of getting hurt, getting anxious. He looked at me and he started smiling. The hurt, the anxiety, suffering lives in my mind because of ignorance. He said, are you crazy? How can I tell you the benefits of the heart? So then I said, why you get hurt? Why you get hurt? So do you intend to cause suffering in your life and that is why you got hurt? That is your intent? So you are the only one in the world who consciously chose to get hurt and suffer. No, that is not the case. I don't want to suffer. Give me 5 benefits. That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom that moves us from the ignorance to the knowledge. Living our life consciously by right knowledge, right speech, and right action. So our focus, natural focus, should be on the right knowledge about life and living, followed by the right speech, right action in a different situation. Situations are constantly changing. Life, the world is in flux, so life is in flux. Both are in flux. Life and the world are constantly changing from moment to moment. What thought will come in the morning will disappear in the afternoon. New thought is replaced in the evening, and before you sleep, there is another group of the thoughts. We can live our life in knowledge, not other living species. I have been talking about this. Are you clear, my friend? No other living species in the world, from mosquito to elephant to the tiger to the whale to the birds, they cannot receive and retain the knowledge. Whatever the knowledge they can receive, or I mean to say training, is within the limitations of the animal mind. They can be habituated. They can be mechanically trained. Your pets, you have lot of pets. Can you guide your alligator, take your food in time? If you are sick, inform me. That level of self awareness is absent. And we have that level of awareness. Are we sure? So somebody is talking to you, he becomes nasty. I have that level of awareness. He has lost it. He is using the animal mind. I am using the human mind. So I should use the right knowledge, thought, and speech and action in a given situation, in one relationship, at a particular time. The life changes. Mind works like a machine, mechanically, impulsively. That is why we say impulsive driven mind. So when we put the knowledge in the same mind, it becomes intellect. And when we contemplate and reflect, that knowledge becomes the part of my mind, part of my life. And that knowledge I use in thinking, speaking, and acting. The life changes. But that life is guided by the higher state of the consciousness. So when you get that higher state of the consciousness by meditation or mindfulness, so we are listening and learning, we are receiving and retaining the knowledge through contemplation and reflection, and we are doing the practice. The life is going to change in few months and weeks. Go to the same guy. He said, I'm suffering. This is my fourth terrible experience of getting a soulmate and then got separated. I said, you are very wise and intelligent. You are learning from your experiences. And he became very serious. He agreed to me that I'm learning from my experiences. I said, you already had 3 events in the past, and this is 4 events in the past, and this is going to be the 5th one. So I believe you are learning from your experiences. I like it. I told him a real life story. During 70s, I forgot the name. He was an American. He married 9 times and he divorced 9 times before he went to a psychiatrist and asked him, what's wrong with all these women? Psychiatrist told him that everything wrong with you, not with all those women, after analyzing and listening to him. After narrating this story, I told him that did you learn from your experiences with the previous 4 events? That is why you entered into the 5th event? Or you are repeating the same thing again and again and expecting a different result? You had imagined after being failed in one event, your mind imagined, was full of delusion that I will succeed in the second. You failed in the second. Why you failed? Because of ignorance, because you imagined that I will receive peace and happiness from the second girl that you failed. Yes, I did it. And then I thought that now I will behave like this. I will give everything to her. And you failed in the third. You failed in the fourth. So where is the problem? The problem is in my mind. What I am desiring, what I am expecting from the world to offer me. If the world outside or a person outside do not have it, do not possess that peace and happiness and love, how they can offer you? So, but you imagine. So it's a delusion. So you are living life unconsciously. I told you life is a series of experiences. So, but I have to learn from my experience. Learning from my experiences begins with the first step. What is the first step? To observe the mind. Mind what you are seeking. Is it really available? To go to the Walmart, if it is not available there, do you want to fight with the cashier? Now, why it is not available? Why you are not keeping it? No, we don't do it. That is what you did. You got hurt because what you were expecting, you don't get it. So that's why you have a question, you have a worry, you have a heart, you are suffering. Life is a series of experiences. When you live consciously with the right knowledge, thought, and speech, the life becomes beautiful. Eastern wisdom, Eastern wisdom is not looking for celebrating an event in life. What are those events? The birthdays, the marriage anniversaries, etc. It's a Christmas celebration. So, what it is looking for, Eastern wisdom says, make your entire life a celebration by understanding your true nature. When you realize you are the peace and happiness and love, you wake up in the morning, celebration. You're working in the afternoon, celebration. You return home, celebration. You sleep, that is also a celebration. You eat, that is also a celebration. Because that peace and happiness and that love and the wisdom continues to manifest in thought, speech, and action. Do you see what is absent? The regrets of the past, comparison in the present, and the worries in the future are absent in that life. That is why you are making a celebration. So there is no regret from the past. You learned from your experiences. Now you are very clear. Your mind does not imagine or delude it to expect something that is not there in the world outside. You don't compare. While living in the present, you live by yourself. No comparison. Comparison creates drastic likes and dislikes. It causes the delusion and attachment. And you are not worried about the future, what's going to happen in the future. Because when I worry about the future, my mind is attracted to accumulate more and more possessions, and we carry forward that attachment. So, when you carry forward that attachment, the heart is going to be there, the anxiety is going to be there, the duality is going to be there, reaction is going to be there. How to live life, live consciously. Our master says, live life consciously. And that again brings us our to the main question. That is what we are searching. We started with who am I? Will also answer the question, what is life? So when we say that what is life, first I answered that question. It means, is it do I have an option to live my life with the right knowledge and the right speech and the right action? Whatever the situation outside is, I'm not getting dictated by any situation outside. What happens when I'm living with the right knowledge, speech, and action? The outer situation do not create any reaction in my mind, and then I'm not frustrated, I'm not hurt. The right knowledge creates the right desire, and the right desire leads to the right action. That is the royal secret. Our masters, or one of the great masters says, our great master Krishna, who is the originator also, is known as the originator, he says to his friend seeker that what I'm going to tell you, Krishna is saying, what I'm going to tell you is free from defect, is the most secret thing of all. The essential knowledge attended with all the comprehensive knowledge. When you know that knowledge, Krishna is saying, when you know that knowledge, the seeker, you are released from the suffering forever. It is a secret knowledge. Where is that knowledge? I have told you many a times. I'm reminding you, awakening to my true nature and end of suffering are the two major goals of the life. First, we end the suffering when we follow and apply the Eastern wisdom. And when the suffering comes to an end, that peace and happiness, love and wisdom manifest in our life, in our daily living. Live life consciously with the right knowledge, right speech, right action. So why it is a secret? I've already told you. Many other masters, they tell the same thing. So where is the secret? That we need to understand it clearly. Why it is a secret? Because people do not follow the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. If they follow, they are qualified. And if they are qualified, they do not commit to the journey. They commit to the journey, then they do not, they leave in the during, they do not leave the past. So many reasons. Master says that is why it is a secret. So we listen to a talk once and we say, okay, I have understood. They return home and they start fighting. They start reacting. They did the practice, they came out of the practice of meditation, they enjoy a beautiful experience of calmness and peace. Then they return to the office, they start fighting. Is it not a secret? Think of it. Think of it. Is it not a secret? Just people do not follow the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. If they follow, they will become qualified. They do not follow until the time they experience the change, inner change. Because they don't experience the inner change, so they leave it. But if they are qualified, they do not commit to the journey. And if they commit to the journey, they do not leave the past, regrets, comparison, and the worries. The many reasons. That is why we say it is a secret. Master says, then why Master says it's a royal and open secret? Now see, it is also a secret, it is a royal secret, and it is also an open secret. It is open because anyone can become a seeker. Anyone can treat the path and can discover the peace and happiness. Nobody is holding, nobody is preventing. That is why it is an open secret. Why it is open? It is beyond all the cult, dogma, belief, religion. It has nothing to do with religion. You receive the knowledge, you retain the knowledge, you digest the knowledge, you change yourself, you start living in peace and happiness, independent of anything in the world. Because you realize you are the peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Love has no religion, wisdom has no religion, cult. Happiness has no cult in dogma. It is living life consciously, you are experiencing. There are no chances of living in anxiety, duality, conflict, and confusion. It is a royal secret because only the seeker alone can discover it. Who is a seeker? Is any person can become a qualified seeker. So seeker has one desire. He is very or she is very clear that the peace, happiness, love, and wisdom are within me all the time. It is present, and I am on the path of discovering that peace and happiness. I have left all expectations and craziness and the delusion and imagination that this world is going to offer me peace and happiness. This world is going to offer me food, offer me car, offer me a smartphone. Love is not on sale. Love is not compromised. Peace is not compromised. I live in peace. I have found the peace within me, and that is all. Now the master says we are doing the sessions from the same book. So open the royal secret, an open secret, and read the titles before it until this, and then combine all the teachings of this Eastern wisdom. So the master says this secret knowledge is shared only with the seeker. Now, did you understand why it is a royal secret, why it is an open secret? So now the master said knowledge of the Eastern wisdom is the highest secret. Why? Because you are interested in discovering that permanent peace and happiness. Maybe your honey, your relations, they are not interested. So why it is a secret? It is only shared with the seeker. Even though it is an open secret, it is shared with the seeker. So this guy, instead of going to a bar, having a drink and getting frustrated, he approached me. He said, I'm getting hurt. What is the solution? So I gave him a liquor of peace and happiness. I gave him a uh, one peg of knowledge. And he started laughing. He became so calm because he understood the ignorance was removed. The heart was imagined, was of a delusive nature. That's the real life story that I talked in the beginning. So, did you understand? It is an open secret, it is a royal secret, it is only shared with the seeker. The word secret means a mystery. Sometimes we use the word secret as a mystery. Clandestine, that is not shared with all, known only by the few. Who are the few? Because I'm a seeker, I'm interested now in discovering that peace and happiness, love and the wisdom which is present within. The moment my mind craves and desires, runs after the expectations, imagines the peace and happiness are present in any person or relation, I check the mind, I go with it. I am a seeker. So that is what the master says. The secret is only shared by the only to the seeker. You can read and study, but unless the teacher teaches you, personalizes the teaching, we don't realize that we are a seeker within. That's what I personalized. When he told me that he is too much hurt, I said, give me 5 benefits of getting hurt. He started laughing. Living life consciously with the right knowledge and speech and action changes the entire life. You may have a heart for 10 years, it dissolves within no time. Live life consciously with the right knowledge, with the right speech, and right action. So this knowledge is readily available, but not easily found. Did you get it? It is always available, but it is not easily found. That is why our master says, and there is a it is worthy to understand that. They say that Eastern wisdom is the highest knowledge of the reality and of life, how to live your life from moment to moment. So then the one who is a seeker receives that knowledge, retains that knowledge, realizes that knowledge, and changes the life. But once we continue the journey, these secrets are revealed step by step to the seeker. Knowledge is not realized in a day. Like the seed does not become a tree overnight. We say, oh, let the seed become a tree overnight. No, it doesn't become. The commitment, the sincerity, the longing for peace and happiness within me, not craving for something outside, longing for the real nature, the inner calm, and the relaxation are required to become a seeker. Every time you are seeking peace and happiness, your mind says, it is within me. No, but I am stressed. That stress is superimposition over the real nature. Why it is a superimposition? Because the mind is living in ignorance. Why the mind is living in ignorance? Because the mind has likes and dislikes in the world. It gets an attachment and detachment that causes a desire. But why the mind is causing the desire? Because the desire is seeking to live in peace and happiness in the world outside where they are not. So it causes the delusion. Delusion means that what I am seeking from a person that is absent in him or her. If I say this mouse gives me love and peace, so I'm crazy. But when I say, you give me love and peace, that is also crazy because love and peace are within me. But we don't realize it. My goodness. Did you get it? So the master says, simple, always remember, you are hurt. Okay. Well, I take the example of that young guy. So the moment I get hurt, I am stressed, I'm into anxiety. Can my mind says I do not know, let me know it. Let me know the hurt, let me know what is this anxiety, let me. The moment you say this, the first step has started. Because you claim that you don't know, so you want to know it. So when you want to know it, you follow, then you follow the principles of the Eastern wisdom. Second step will definitely come. Then your mind will say, I do not understand. What should I do? Let me understand it. And that is why we are doing sessions after sessions in order to understand, to reveal that royal secret. But always never forget, I don't know, let me know it. I do not understand, let me understand it. I do not experience, let me practice. It's just it. I have modified these three steps a little bit. And gradually I will return to the original concept, original principles. So, but first, I don't know. The moment you are surrounded by fear, failure, frustration, anxiety, I don't know, let me know it. So, what to know? That all fear, anxiety, duality, conflict is nothing but different manifestations and expressions of desire. Desire is anger, desire is anxiety, desire is duality, desire is conflict, desire is reaction, desire is hurt. We will explain. Don't worry. And the second point is I do not understand how the desire is anger, how the desire is reaction. You have certain desire from a person which is not fulfilled, so you get upset, you get angry. You ask your son to go do the things, and but he doesn't do it, so you get angry. Your desire is not fulfilled. So desire changes its color, has become an anger. Desire becomes same way. The desire becomes a delusion. Desire becomes a craving. Desire becomes a frustration. Desire becomes a failure. So when I understand, I have completed the second step. Now it is 100% clear. The moment the mind is going outside, running outside on anything for the sake of peace and happiness is forcing me to live in stress, anxiety, duality, conflict, failure, frustration. Did you get it? Say yes, my friend. So once that is clear and followed by the practice, so the mind returns to its natural state. And in the natural state, the mind will reveal the knowledge. Mind will remind you of what I have discussed even the last year. You'll be surprised. That is why we say it's a progressive realization, a step by step realization. So the seed does not become a tree overnight. What it means? Knowledge is not realized overnight, it takes time. Every time You may rise the next time you fall, and again the knowledge helps you, it reminds you, you change your mindset. That is what happened last time. When the mind is full of ignorance, impurity, projections. Impurity means anxiety, reaction, blaming, complaining, anger, and greed. And projections. Projection, you can take it happiness and peace in objects and people outside. Then it cannot treat the path successfully. When the seeker learns the principles and contemplates and reflects in the first two steps, journey becomes easy. Another issue that is a big challenge. The mind lives in ignorance and thinks and projects and imagines that if I take a drink, my heart will dissolve. My anger against a person will dissolve. Action I have taken when an action outside. I got frustrated because I did not get love from a person outside, but where it is not, love is not there, peace is not there, and I was craving for it, so I got it. So I started following the path. I start forcing myself to get peace, but ultimately I am frustrated. Now I'm doing the same thing. So I start another action of taking a hard drink to dissolve my hurt. Did I watch and observe in that path? I'm just giving in one example that can be applied anywhere. I'll tell you. So did I observe in that pack of a hard drink, the solution of the heart is there? Solution of heart is there? Solution of anxiety is there? Answer is no. To an example, your son comes, says you something nasty, and you get hurt instantly. What should I do? I should take my mind deeper within. The heart is absent. But why the heart continues? Why the anxiety and the reaction continues? Because my mind is still seeking a solution from my son who hurt me. But he doesn't have it. He's already gone. Are you getting it? That is the meaning of living life consciously, not changing an event, a person, or a thing in the world where peace and happiness, love and wisdom are absent. I give the same example. There is a storm outside. You are standing outside your house, and suddenly there is a storm. Do you want to fight with the storm to calm down? No. You rush inside the home, close the door, sit in your living room. You are already in the state of calmness and peace. Your mind do not chase any person with whom you reacted. Your mind returns to home inside. Calm down. No more thinking about that person. First, let mind. You live with me, not with anyone in the head. We are already in the state of calm. That we do not understand. That is why the master says, It is a royal secret and it is an open secret. Who is a seeker who knows how to withdraw the mind within? I'm just so that is how the teacher personalizes the teaching. This knowledge of the self discovery, knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, knowledge to live life consciously with the right knowledge, thought, speech, and action has to be learned in a tradition. It is the teacher who has to personalize the knowledge. Other knowledge, I can learn driving, I can learn the computer, I can learn anything from the Google except the Eastern wisdom. That is why in modern science we have a knowledge has two parts, the theory and the practice. But in Eastern wisdom, that theory and practice are blended together. They go simultaneously. They do not have any gap. If there is a gap, it means I live in ignorance, I live in hurt, I live in craving, I live in imagination, I live. So we try to remove the Eastern wisdom of our masters through the knowledge tries to remove that ignorance. Daily practice, never forget at this moment. Daily listening, and after listening, contemplate on it, never forget. So now see this. Now see what Master is saying. Master says that seekers' ego is the biggest roadblock on the path. Go back to this young guy. That's a good example. Sorry. He had four frustrating experiences with the so called soulmate he already had. But his ego thought, imagined, created a delusion that I will succeed in the fifth, and he failed again. He did not learn from the past four experiences. And what was the learning? Peace and happiness are not outside, it is within me. So he asked me, seems a very genuine question, but it is purely irrational question from the point of view of our Eastern wisdom. What did he ask? He asked me, so does it mean that I stop searching for a soulmate? I should not live a life with a companion? I said, who told you? He said, that is my conclusion. I said, that is another ego that you have created. So you always think in your own way. You do not allow the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom to enter within you. So he asked, he laughed, and then he asked, what is the way? I said, Master says that first we should have an emotional independence, emotional freedom. Emotional bondage, animal mind. Emotional freedom, human mind. Mind working on you will never bring an end to the suffering. You are working on the mind, it will bring an end to the suffering. So, should I have an emotional maturity first before I enter into relationship? I said yes. In the presence of emotional freedom and the maturity, your mind will not crave for the imagined pleasure and the peace. Rather, it will offer the peace and happiness to everyone. So you become the darling of everyone. That is the way to live consciously. That is the way to live consciously in day to day living. Just see. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let everyone be happy. And as from where you are listening this mantra, the message, the knowledge is there. Let everyone be happy. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. No, it's coming from my mind. I'm saying it. So if our mind is thinking and contemplating, let everyone be happy. So I'm happy, then only I'm saying it. I'm recognizing the happiness is within me. That is why I'm saying it. And I'm saying, let everyone become a seeker to discover the happiness within them. I have no role to play. If one is angry over me, it is his problem. I don't take his anger. I don't accept his anger. Why? Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Are you getting it? We have other lines that you know. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kasche dukha bhag bhave. Let everyone be blessed. Let everyone be in the state of well being. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Think. So, this master says, I have covered that part also in the book that you are going to read. So, after understanding, then you read, and it may happen that you will be able to reveal the knowledge if you are reading it again and again and listening. So, this master says that this knowledge is verified and validated by millions of people over a period of 10,000 years of this tradition. And it can also be validated and verified by regular practice by you. And that is why we are meeting every week. Kingly knowledge. This is a kingly knowledge verified by the insight in the intellect. It is the kingly knowledge. I told you it's a royal secret, it's the royal knowledge. And that knowledge is always present. That knowledge needs to be explored inside. So, what is this knowledge I've been talking? Did you get it? It is the knowledge of the real self. It is the knowledge of who you are. Can you declare, I am peace, happiness, the journey comes to an end. Yesterday, someone asked me, then how long we will continue this journey? So I realized what he is looking for. And he asked me the question in a group. I said, I will give you an answer with a counter question. But I want you all to be honest. Well, we'll all be honest. I said, how many times last week since I took the last session until now, how many times you were upset, anxious, reacted? How many locations you visited and reacted, became anxious? Everyone said 10 times, 20 times. I didn't count. I said, once you start living your life free from all the reactions of anger, anxiety, duality, upset, and conflict, 24/7, until then you have to attend. Let me pick up one more aspect is that learning the principles, understanding with the faith pending inquiry. Faith pending inquiry. So you are listening and learning, but you have to inquire. That inquiry means you are raising the questions after listening. But in order to raise the question, I have to start with the belief. You go to any store or the mall, you park the car outside with a belief that once you return, you will find this car at the same place. Simple faith is required. What happens when you have that faith after while listening and learning these thoughts pertaining to the right knowledge go with you even before you sleep and also in the dream and when you wake up in the morning. So every day you wake up in the morning and your mind say, do you know, do you remember peace is your essential nature? That is faith. But so when you have that faith and you continue the journey. So when we treat the path with confidence, with a belief, we discover the real nature. And when we discover the real nature, the real nature reveals. You have questions in your mind. So, okay, if my real nature is peace and happiness, and you said I have to live life consciously with the right knowledge, right speech, right thought, right action, what is preventing me? What is preventing me? My false nature. What is false nature? Buddha says the word is suffering. I say word is pleasure. What does it mean? I am expecting peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom from the world outside, from the relations, from the people, and they don't have. No, I have to another question to ask, but why my mind behaves like this? Because mind lives in ignorance. But why the mind lives in ignorance? Because I did not reveal the royal secret, the royal knowledge. What is that knowledge? That I am the real self. The real self is peace and happiness, love and wisdom. Do you still remember I told you we are not worthy of suffering? People start, I'm giving you a real life example. People start crying and they get totally upset. They enter into, they faint, caused by some event, an incident in their life. But they do not ask, are they worthy of suffering? And if they are worthy of the suffering, ask them the five benefits of the suffering, five benefits of the crying, five benefits of the heart, five benefits of the anxiety. Every time every five example of getting scared. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Let everyone be happy. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be healthy or in the state of the well-being. You know, you see the outer expression. Let everyone be healthy in the state of the well-being. But the masses, this message, because I'm saying the mantra, so this message is for me and my mind. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, let everyone be blessed. Why I'm saying for everyone? Because I am aware the existence is keeping me alive today, blessing me with the breath, with the existence to live, to explore that peace and happiness. Ma bhadra kashidma dukha bhaga bhaved. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Royal secret, open secret, knowledge is realized in stages. Seed does not become a tree overnight. I have to live consciously with the right knowledge, right speech, right thought, right action from moment to moment. Here the changes comes in life. When I live consciously, then I am not expecting anyone to offer me the peace and happiness because that is the delusion and the life changes. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Living life consciously is the life worthy of living. If we are not living the life, that is briefly, I covered that topic, but why we don't live that worthy life? because of lot of impurities in the mind that we will take up in our next lesson. Thank you. Om, Om Shanti.